Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenna and today we're gonna talk business. A couple months ago, I think it was a couple months ago now. Seems like a couple months ago now. I don't even know what day it is, okay? Quarantine probs. I posted a video explaining basically how and when and where you get money from YouTube, which is Google AdSense. I will link that video up there and down there, but I think a lot of you smaller YouTubers, aka us lower class YouTubers, really did find a lot of helpful information from that video. We're gonna talk taxes, we're gonna talk freaking IRS, Social Security, all this adult stuff that I don't really think any like normal YouTuber really talks about. But guess what? We're gonna talk about it today. So without further ado, let's get started. Let me just say before I dive deep into this whole tax discussion, I am not a tax professional. I'm not an accountant. I'm not like a business lawyer, none of that. I am simply just sharing my knowledge from this 2019 tax season with you, because I definitely wish I knew a lot of the things that I learned this year, because then I would have been much better prepared. So I'm hoping you guys take a little bit of knowledge from myself. But again, I'm in no way, shape, or form a tax professional. I could be saying these things wrong. I'm just telling you guys what I have experienced. I'm gonna try not to dive too deep into like how you make money or any of that, because that is all in my other video. So let's just say your channel is officially able to be monetized, meaning you have all the followers, all the requirements necessary to put ads onto your video, which then you make money from those ads, and you're starting to get those direct deposit checks into your bank account. For those of you who have worked before for like a normal job, you get what's called a W-2. So the government is automatically taking out a portion of taxes towards federal, state, all this stuff that we don't even know. We just get taxes taken out. And then when you go and do your taxes, you end up getting what's called a tax return usually. I mean, fingers crossed you do. I've never worked a job and made like more than $30,000 a year, and that's being like generous saying, and I only get like a couple $100 back because I'm just single. I have no like dependents. I don't claim anything. Like, it is what it is. I'm 25 and it's been that way since I was 16. Now, when you are a YouTuber or a content creator, whatever you want to call yourself, an artist, if I may, you get what's called a 1099 from Google AdSense. A 1099 basically means that you are self-employed, you're an independent contractor, you're basically a business, which is pretty crazy to think about. Like, I just sound like such an adult when I say that.
I'm a business owner. Wow.
Because we are basically business owners, Google doesn't actually take out those taxes that normal jobs, the government actually takes out those taxes for us. So we are responsible for paying those taxes on our own. It kind of sucks, like if you ask me, like, what? But if you take your channel seriously like a business, then there's ways to kind of manipulate the system. Actually, I shouldn't say manipulate because that sounds really bad, but there's ways to get around not having to pay as much taxes maybe. So we're gonna get into that. I'm just gonna be super brutally honest with you guys. For the year 2019, that was the first year where I was able to actually make money off of my YouTube channel. So when I filed taxes for 2019, I made an abundance of about like $15,000, which is not too shabby for a lower class creator like myself. Ahead of time, I knew that I was going to be considered a business, so I did my best to put away some money per every check that I was getting. And I knew that when you're considered a business and you have a 1099 like this, we get what's called write-offs. So a write-off is something when you buy something for your business that is going to help your business function or grow, whatever the case may be, you get to write that off towards your taxes. So if I made $100 from my business and I spent $50 on a camera, I get to use that $50 to write off towards that $100, and then I only have to pay taxes towards that other $50. So that's where the write-offs come into play, and it's kind of cool because there's a lot more things that we can write off that we don't even realize. Me having known that I was going to be considered a business, I did my best to save receipts for everything that I used to buy for my videos. For example, the video where I dressed like my mom in the 90s, all of those outfits, I got to use those as tax write-offs. In fact, this was one of them. I think this was like $6 or something crazy on Poshmark. Guess what? It's a tax write-off. When I went to Mall of America to buy the Shane Dawson x Jeffree Star conspiracy stuff, I made a video about it. Those were tax write-offs, dude. When I went to St. Louis, everything I bought in St. Louis, because I made a video about it for my business, aka my YouTube channel, it's a tax write-off. Oh my god, I'm like Ariana Grande, like... Anything that you're buying and putting towards your business that's going to benefit your business in any way, you get to use it as a tax write-off. So that's really cool. Back to how much money I made in 2019 as a YouTube creator. So I made about $15,000 that year. Let me just kind of put this into play for you. If you don't have that many tax write-offs, you kind of need to keep this in mind, okay? So if I were you, every check that you get from Google AdSense, I would put away a certain amount towards saving, anywhere from 10% to 25%. 25 seems like a lot, but if you're really not putting forth a lot of money towards your business and you're not gonna have that much write-offs, you're gonna have to pay a lot more in taxes. Because look at this. These are the taxes that you're gonna have to pay out of pocket, that if you had like a normal job where you got a W-2, these taxes are kind of automatically taken out. So about 13% towards Social Security. Then about 5% or more, depending or less what state you live in, you're gonna have to pay about 5% towards the state that you live in. And then there's about another 3% that goes towards something else. So that's equals about 21%, which is where I would roughly say 25% of whatever check you have, I would just roughly put that away, and you would be plenty fine by the end of the year when you are going to pay your taxes. It's kind of a lot of money, but it's just better to keep yourself safe than be sorry at the end of the year and have to pay a gang load of money, if you know what I mean. Because I didn't have as many tax write-offs as I thought, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to pay like $5,000 back to the government, which I did not save $5,000, if I'm being honest, because who the heck has $5,000 just sitting in their back pocket? So when I sat down with my accountant, he really helped me out. I told him, I was like honest, I was like, yo, this is my first time as a business. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out? I saved all my receipts for everything I bought for the year 2019 towards my business, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, tell me about yourself and what you do. So like, you know, I gave him the spiel like,
I'm a YouTuber and I just do it for fun, but yeah, like I buy a lot of stuff for my channel.
You know, he really made me realize something very important and very crucial that I think will benefit you guys. So I started my channel in 2018. I'm kind of going off track for a minute, but there's a point, I promise you. So in 2018, I started my channel, but come 2019, when it was time to do my taxes for 2018, I wasn't monetized in 2018. So I did not make any money off of my YouTube channel for the year 2018. I didn't get a 1099. I wasn't considered a business. So everything that I bought in the year 2018, I couldn't use as a write-off because I wasn't making any money as a business owner or an independent contractor. So I had spent $1,200 on a computer at Best Buy. I had spent $600 on a camera, a $100 ring light, all these things that I was spending money on that I couldn't use as tax write-offs because I didn't have proof that I was a business yet. So I kind of thought, well, that's just my luck, you know, like I can't use those things as a write-off for the year 2018. But guess what? Even though I wasn't able to use those as write-offs for the year 2018, I was now able to use them for the year 2019 because guess what? I still use them for my business, and even though I was never able to use them as write-offs before, I am now for this one time only because I use them for my business. And I was like, holy shit. Thank the Lord, because then I had thousands and thousands of more dollars worth of write-offs. So even though I bought my computer that was $1,200 in the year 2018, I was able to use it for the year 2019. So I'm gonna go over little things that I learned that are write-offs that I would never have even thought of that might benefit you guys in your tax return journey. Your equipment, that's probably your biggest write-off and where most of your like larger expenses have gone towards. sense? So anything from your computer to your cameras, hard drives, lighting, backdrops, tripods, all of those things are essential towards your business as a content creator, right? Those are write-offs. Let me tell you one thing really quick before I continue on down with this list. You can only use those as write-offs one time. So if I have the same computer this year for next year's tax return, well, for 2020's tax return, it seems complicated because like you do 2019 taxes in 2020, but like you guys know what I mean. But yes, you can only write them off one time. Only new expenses can you write off new every year, if that kind of makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm like a horrible explainer of all of this. I'm doing my freaking best, guys, okay? Just bear with me. Another thing that I had no idea to really like write off was your mileage for your car. So all those times that you are driving to go, even if you're just picking up stuff for your channel, like if you're going to Hobby Lobby to pick up something that you need to make content for your channel, that's a write-off. So you get a write-off based off of mileage, so how far you're going. So if you're going to get supplies, if you're going to meetings, if you're going to certain venues, you're driving your car to go do something for your business, those miles can go towards write-offs. I'm not exactly sure how the mileage is used as a write-off. Like, I'm not sure how that math works. Just keep track of your mileage. It's worth it, I promise. If you do any traveling or if you're eating any food, so like if you go out on a business lunch, save that receipt for that lunch because it's a write-off. If you travel anywhere, those plane tickets, those are write-offs. For example, my St. Louis trip where I went there for a day, all of those expenses for that entire day because I made content for my business, traveling to a different state and eating and exploring, doing all that stuff, that was entirely a write-off. That entire travel experience was a write-off for myself. So if you go anywhere, if you eat anywhere for your business, it's a tax write-off. Also, if you have any furniture for your videos, that's a tax write-off. So like if you have a desk that you bought to edit your videos, that's a tax write-off because you need a desk. We don't need a desk, but if you bought this desk for the intention to sit there and edit your videos, it's a tax write-off. Also, people who have like backgrounds, so like kind of this is, I mean, it's my room, it's my bed, but this is relatively where I start my videos, and I have like cute little stuff up there that could technically be a write-off because this is like my scene for my videos. You know what I mean? So like people have designated bedrooms in their home for their videos, like they call them studios or whatever. That entire room is a write-off, which is kind of crazy. Everything in that room is a write-off. Also, another cool thing that you get a write-off is certain bills that you pay monthly. You gotta have internet to go on YouTube. I gotta have internet to do a lot of things for my channel. So my internet bill is actually a write-off. Your phone bill, because you probably use your phone a lot for your business, whether you're doing emails, phone calls, whatever. I don't know the dealio. You can use your phone as a write-off, your phone bill. If you have a designated room in your home and you're a renter and this is relatively where you film, if it's your studio, whatever, you get to use that square footage as a write-off towards your taxes and stuff. You do have to have like proof that you're a renter though. Like you get, I forget what it's called, it's like a renter's something, but like your landlord will give it to you saying like, yes, this person has rented from me from this point to this point, they pay this much, and then you say how much square footage you use. It's a whole process, but yes, you can write off, if you're a renter, certain square footage of your home that you use towards your business towards tax write-offs. Another thing that you get to use as write-offs are subscriptions that you might use towards your business. So for me, I use Photoshop. That's $20 a month. So that's what, $240, right? I think that's $240. God, I'm so bad at math. Oops. Yep, $240. I was right. Damn, I was right. So yeah, my Photoshop is $20 a month. I use that for the entire year. So that's $240 that I was able to write off. My music that I use, that's copyright free, that I pay a subscription for, I was able to use that as a write-off because I used that for the entire year towards my business. So yeah, anything that you're subscribed to, you get to use it as a tax write-off as well. So that's kind of cool. Also, any office expenses, if you're using any paper, literally, like I can't stress this enough, like anything that you're using towards your business. business, anything that you're using towards your business, even if it's a little tiny expense, like what I would do is just get a notebook, and anytime you buy something, I would just write the date, write the total expenses that you bought, so like your receipt total, and then say a slight description of what you bought, and then just keep that receipt just in case your accountant asks to see it. So anyways, when I did my taxes, because my accountant told me these things that I wasn't fully aware of, like I was just thinking of things that I use directly for my videos. Like I wasn't really thinking like super in depth of a lot more things that I can use as tax write-offs. So I ended up getting like $10,000 worth of tax write-offs from 2018 and 2019. So what that left me with was about $5,000 of income from my business that I had to pay my own taxes on. You can't get away from paying taxes, dude. Like, there's no way to get away from it. I ended up having to pay like $1,000 altogether towards the IRS and towards state, which is much better than I thought it was gonna be, honestly. Because again, I thought I was gonna have to pay like $5,000. And if I didn't have all those extra write-offs that I had no idea about, I probably would have ended up paying thousands and thousands of more dollars. I'm really grateful for my accountant because he really woke me. Like, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot more that I can use as write-offs than I realized, which is why I wanted to make a video about this, because I think a lot of YouTubers who are small like me probably don't know these things. And if you do, like, good for you, man, because I had no freaking idea. Moral of the story basically is just keep a really good record of all the things that you're buying towards your YouTube channel, which is your business. Basically, you just always gotta have enough money saved because you're gonna owe taxes somehow. Like, it's inevitable, I think. I mean, again, I'm not a freaking tax professional. This is just what I learned as my first year as a business owner doing taxes this year. So yeah, I really hope this video helped you guys. If it did, please give it a thumbs up and also share with fellow creators who might not know this information, because I really do think it might be helpful towards all of you young, lower class creators out there like myself. Today's video shout out goes to Jada. So shout out to you, Jada. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are. And if you want to be next video shout out, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed and comment down below. Also, shout out to my Patreon babes. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting my channel. And if you want to support my channel, you can click the link in the description and check out what tier you want to be a part of and join the Patreon babe gang. There's lots of cool, exciting, extra content on my Patreon that you don't get on my regular channel. So check that out. That's it for this week's video, guys. So I will see you guys all next week on next week's video. Until next time, so long and farewell, my babes. Bye.